Actually, we don't have much time, but I would like to give maybe 5-10 minutes for questions. Please make them brief and direct. Okay, go ahead.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
جزاكم الله خير, Dr. Jamal, for the lecture. But I was just writing actually few of the acts that are going on with Muslims for a long time. Kashmir, Palestine, Kosovo, Chechnya, Bosnia, Sudan, Afghanistan, Albania, Libya, Iraq, Muslims in India, Muslims in China, Muslims in Philippines, Pakistan, Iran, Lebanon, Syria, and so forth. All of these, all the Muslims, they know what's going on with all the Muslims around the world. Regrettably, when we talk to our brothers, the people of the book, or even the people in humanity, they don't know anything about it. It's the media. How can actually we need for communication and fairness, how can we bring this to service? Jazakallah khair.
Jazakallah khair. Bring the information to people. I have a great deal of faith in the American people. I lived and studied in America for 7 years and have lots of friends. After all, there are 6 to 7 million American Muslims already. I have a great deal of faith in people's attitude in trying to learn and their fair-mindedness. And if people even had negative attitude toward Islam and Muslim, it is because of false information that has been fed to them. So I think it is our duty, and it has been our neglect of that duty in the past that let all this false information unchallenged. And I must tell you that while it is very difficult for Muslim community, being less experienced in the media, with very limited resources, to stand up to huge giants like the CNNs and Foxes and Boxes and all of that. Anyway, still there have been lots of letters to the editor. There are lots of op-eds that has been published. I think even you have a very faint voice of truth with limited resources. It is much better than the loud voices of falsehood. So it is our duty to do whatever we can.
My name is John Lueth. I come from southern Sudan. And I believe most of the scholars who are here tonight, I'm not going to make a lot of arguments about my experience about what Islam is. Because as the scholar has presented here, Islam is said to be a peaceful religion which promotes brotherhood. That is not what I have found in Sudan from my childhood. In Sudan, the Muslims come and build mosques, even whereby there is not even a single Muslim. In Sudan, the schools, you are forced to be a Muslim and wear jalabia and hemma. In Sudan, there is over 5 million people have died. And I remember you were saying that 1 million people died in Iraq, and you never mentioned about the people who die in the name of falsehood of the so-called jihad in Sudan. Now, that is hypocrisy. I remind you that you are a scholar, but it seems don't talk in the name of 11th of September. Look back at what happened, especially in my country.
Can you come to your question? I don't know whether this is for many speeches. I asked the chairman, is it for questions or comment? Because if there's a question, I think maybe you should, in fairness to others who are waiting,
run away.
I tried to answer, by the way, the first question very briefly to be courteous to other people within the 10 minutes to answer as many questions. So let's have a ruling from the chair on this.
Give me time, please. Give me time. I just want to ask a number of things.
If you have a comment, make it very brief and direct. If you have
I will be very brief. You said that Islam, as in the Quran, only fights or takes war in terms of self-defense. What is it doing in the southern Sudan?
Okay. You want me to answer, Yahi? Yes. I think the whole thing that you said, brother, you might have missed an important point that I mentioned very honestly and straightforwardly in the very beginning. I did say that Islam is not equivalent to Muslim or Muslim action, nor did I say also or deny that not every action committed by Christians is equivalent to Christianity. So what you're describing, assuming that this information are all correct, I know that many Sudanese would have a dispute with that, but aside, suppose even that every single word you said is correct, that is not correct to say this is the Islam I experienced. You might say this is some of the Muslims I experienced with. And I have no hesitation whatsoever, as a Muslim, to say that if indeed it's not propaganda, because sometimes there are lots of propaganda also, there are many instances. If indeed some Muslims behaved contrary to what the Quran teaches, don't say that this is Islam, say this is a wrongful Muslim, not Islam.
Okay, so at this point, I'd like to conclude.
A brief comment, just like 30 seconds. Concerning the brother from South Sudan that said they were forced to go to school and attend classes. I lived 6 years in Zambia as a child, and I also was forced to attend classes of Christian religion, and I took it as knowledge, okay? So you can take the Islam as knowledge. Don't think that you're going to be forced for anything. Thank you.
So at this point, I'd like to conclude by thanking Dr. Jamal Badawi for his lecture. And I remind you that in 5 minutes, we'll be having Isha prayer in the South Ballroom, inshallah. Thank you.